Welcome back to Youth Code Jam's online Bits and Bytes lessons. My name is Jen. I'm an instructor with Youth Code Jam. I typically would do these lessons at Bibliothèque East or West when we were meeting in person, and when we're able to go back, that's where I'll be. For now, we're going to be working online as we have been. Today's lesson is going to be targeted for kinder through second graders. We're going to be using ScratchJr, which does require an iPad or an Android. The newer the better, but it should be most likely, given how app stores work, the newer your operating system, the better it's going to work with, especially if you don't have ScratchJr already on your device. You're going to need to update your operating system if you haven't. Most of those things update automatically, so you might be okay. As a note, do not download anything without a parent's permission. So you will probably need a password unless it's your own device and you have the password. The app is free, but we don't want you downloading anything without parents' permission. So this has been our schedule where we upload new lessons on Mondays and Wednesdays, and we hold a Q&A session at 4 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. About these Q&A sessions, these are really more of a hangout time. You can ask us, we can try and troubleshoot some problems that you may have had with the applications or the software that we use. You can ask questions about what we did or show off what you did. We can work on some of the adventure modes. This is really a time for kids to come in and make it what they want it to be. For the month of May, we have something coming up that I can't really get into right now, but our schedule might look a little differently. You might be having some new teachers come in just for a little bit to go over some lessons. It's going to be really fun, but keep an eye on our social media for updates about that. So before we get started, we're going to do a quick rundown. Go to our website under Jam at Home, go to Bits and Bytes Online. This video will be hosted at the top of the page along with any documentation. So we will have English and Spanish activity sheets for you to download for this activity. I will do my best to reference that activity sheet while we work through it today. It's going to be a pretty fast lesson. This is an introductory one for kids who haven't coded before, kids who haven't used Scratch. Older kids are welcome to do this and play around with ScratchJr and see what else you can do with it, but it's really targeted for kinder, first, and second graders. All right, so and if you want to sign up for our Hangout sessions, just come to this page and click this green button. It will take you to our registration. Registration is also free, and we only email you about the meeting. We don't email you about anything else unless you request it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on this activity. I'm going to have to switch my screen share for a minute. So I'm going to stop sharing so that I can share to my iPad. Okay. So you won't need to do this. This is just me getting set up. So we can see my iPad in the background. If you haven't figured out from my computer and my iPad, I love my puppy. Okay, so I already have ScratchJr installed. If you don't, you're going to go to your app store, or if you're on Android, I believe it's the Google Play Store. And you should just be able to, in your search bar, type in ScratchJr. And then this is the one on, you can't really see because of it, but this is the one, the ScratchJr with the cat as the icon is the one that you'll download. So on Apple, you'll just push get into your password with a parent's permission. Let me stress that. Only download this if you have mom, dad, grandma, whoever the adult is in your life. That's who you need to ask before you download. There's no way to make a purchase on this. Everything's free, but we just want to make sure that you guys are not going to get in trouble for downloading it, and that everything remains safe. Okay, so I've already downloaded it, so I'm going to hit cancel and get out of my app. I'm going to go open ScratchJr. So your screen might ask you if you're working at home or school or other. I clicked home, so it's going to take me to this new window. So now that we have that up, let's go to our activity sheet real quick. Okay, so my activity sheet might look a little funny because I'm viewing it on my iPad, but let's just go over what we've talked about so far. So we're going to use ScratchJr to create a program that rotates through 4 scenes: summer, fall, winter, and spring. And we're going to have different sprites or characters that show how you feel about the seasons. So you're going to have a lot of opportunity, a lot of chances here to personalize this for you. What you'll need for this is a Chromebook, an iPad, or an Android tablet. We recommend running on the most up-to-date software possible to download. Most app stores will not let you download backwards if you haven't updated your system software. So whatever the app is said to be compatible for when they upload it to the store is what you'll need to have it as. You will need a Wi-Fi connection to download. But if you have limited Wi-Fi or it's being spotty, you can go ahead and turn that off on your device. The app will run without Wi-Fi. Mine has to run right now so I can connect to my computer. So I can connect to Zoom, which is on my computer, but it can see it on the record this video. But you do not need Wi-Fi to work on this on an iPad, Android, or the Chromebook. All right, so to get started, we're going to go ahead and go to lesson 1 here. We're going to go ahead and start 4 different scenes. So back in our app, we're going to click, well, I'm at a new projects page. So we're going to click this plus button that you see to add a new project. Okay, so now we're here. And on the right side of the screen, I'm not sure if you can see my arrow key or not. If you can see my cursor, we're on the right side of the screen where you see the cat in the full picture and the white background, and then a plus sign underneath it. So you see just the picture of the cat. On the left side is the sprites. We don't want those yet. We're on the right for backgrounds. You're gonna press this plus button 3 more times. So if you see now on the right side of your screen, you should be getting, you have scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, and finally scene 4, because there's 4 seasons. So we have summer, spring, fall, winter. Those are not in order. Okay, so now back in our activity sheet on step 2, we're going to delete the cat sprite that's on each of those scenes. And we're going to do that by holding down the red X button. So back to the app. We're just on each scene, so you're going to make sure if you see on scene 1, it's highlighted in kind of a yellow color. When that's active, you're going to touch the cat in the middle of your screen until it starts shaking like that with the red X, and then you can press delete. And we're going to do that for each scene because we're going to add a new character. So click on the scenes, or tap on the scenes really, because this is touch. Hold down the cat that shows up in the center here until it starts to shake, and then hit the giant red X. And now we are, whoops, I accidentally deleted 4 for some reason. There we go. Okay, so now we are working with basically a completely blank slate. So back to our, we're on step 3. We're going to start adding our backgrounds first. So we're going to start with summer as our first background, and then go to fall, then winter, and then spring. So we're going to do steps 3 and 4 here so that I can cut down my switching back and forth. So to add a background, you'll highlight your first scene. So we want the one highlighted in that yellow. And then you're going to go towards the middle of your screen where you see this, it looks like a photo. It looks like a photo here with a picture in it of a landscape. You're going to click that, and then you're going to find a scene that represents summer. So whatever summer looks like to you, you can go ahead and pick that one. Which one do I like? I think We use that one for summer with the peaches, right? So that's the one I'm going to use for summer. And once I have that, so I'll go to scene 2. So now you see scene 2 is highlighted in yellow. I'm going to come back and click this picture button that's in the middle next to the ABC button, and I'm going to choose fall. So to choose the picture, you tap on it, and then at the very top here, you'll see there's an X, a check mark, and a paintbrush. You want to hit the check mark to accept it, and that will take you back to the main page. So now I'm moving on to step 3. Step 3, scene 3. Scene 3 is active. I'm going to click on this picture button up here at the top. And now I'm choosing the winter scene, which for me includes snow. I know we don't get snow in Texas. It's very, very sad. We really should. It's awesome. And then I'm going to hit the check mark so that it's selected and put on my scene 3. And finally, I'll tap on scene 4, tap on the picture button and choose the spring picture, which for me is going to have butterflies. So like I said, these are what I'm going to choose. You guys can have different ideas of what summer, fall, winter, and spring look like. But this is what it looks like for me. Okay, so once you've completed step 3 and 4, we're going to go on to step 5. And so now in each scene, we're going to add a sprite, which is a little picture. In this case, it's going to kind of be our characters. We're going to have whatever sprite you want to add for that season. So in the activity sheet, you'll see that in summer, we added a dog. In fall, we added a rabbit. In winter, we added a polar bear. And in the spring, we added a butterfly. You guys do not have to stick to those. In fact, I'm probably going to do something different. But that's just an idea of what animal might be in each scene. Okay, so I'm going to start with summer again. So on scene 1, I'm going to make sure scene 1's active. And then to add this sprite, we're going to go to the left side of the screen where now we don't have anything where the cat sprite was. And we're going to hit the plus button to add a sprite. And so you can scroll through here and choose whatever you want. You can see that there's a dragon, which is really fun. Here are animals. You can choose whatever you want from here to represent your different seasons. So I'm going to stick with the animal idea. And I think for summer, I want to add, I'm going to add a horse. Why not? And adding the sprites are just like adding the screen. So once you select it, you hit that check mark at the top. So now that I have the horse in the center of my scene, I'm going to click on scene 2. So scene 2 is highlighted, and then go back on the left side of my screen and add that and click that plus button and choose an animal to be my fall mascot. So I am going to choose a rabbit because I like rabbits, and you can see the rabbit is highlighted in kind of that yellow color, and then I'm going to hit the check mark to select it. And now the bunny's there. The bunny seems a little high to me on that page, so I'm going to bring it down. You just have to, if you want to move an animal, you just click and drag it, right? Drag it with your finger around the screen. So now I'm going to go to scene 3 for winter and choose a winter animal. And then come back to the left side of my screen and click that add button. And who should represent winter? I did like the polar bear. Ooh, I like the penguin. Let's do the penguin. So I select the penguin, hit the check mark. You don't have to move them. I wanted to. And then finally, we'll go to scene 4 and do spring. So on the left side, for the last time, you're going to add the check mark and add whoever you want to add for spring. I think the frog is fun. I think I will do the dog for this one. It's puppies in the spring, right? So let's hit the check mark, add that one. I don't want them to cover the butterflies, so there we go. So this is the core part of our project, I'm actually going to have us do the adventure mode. So here we learned how to add backgrounds and sprites to our activity, but we're going to go ahead and do the adventure mode because it's pretty simple. And what we're going to do is have the backgrounds go through a loop. So a loop is a sequence of steps that's repeated. So you do it again and again and again until you reach a certain point, or it goes on forever. In this case, it will stop. So to make the scenes in a loop, we're going to insert the following code blocks, so this little picture here, into our workspace for each scene. So on summer, we're going to have it loop until it hits, I think till it hits fall. So let's go back to our app, and we're going to make sure the summer scene is activated by tapping on it. And then down here in the code area, we're going to start with the yellow block. That's our start block. We're going to grab the green flag. And then we're going to wait. So we had a clock, I think that was in the orange. So we started here in the yellow, we're now in the orange. This is our control. We're going to wait 10 seconds. And then on the red, which is our ending blocks, we're going to tell it to end on the spring. We want it to loop through for 10 seconds and end on spring, I believe. So let's try hitting the green flag. Okay. So let's look back at that activity sheet for a second. It says 1. So I think we actually want this to stay on, whoops. We're going to change this here. It should be scene, we want to go to scene 2, not scene 4. So we want to go to fall. And to delete it, you're just going to drag it back up into that workspace. So we're going to have the green flag, wait 10 seconds, and then go to fall. So now it should go to the next scene. Okay, so now we're on scene 2, and we're going to repeat that code. So you're going to go to this yellow block, our start blocks, grab the one with the green flag and drag it into the workspace. And then you're going to go to the control loop, grab the timer that says wait 10 seconds, and then you're going to go to the red blocks for our ending and grab the one with the picture that says 3. So now if I hit the green flag, it should go, if we start at 1, it should go from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. Okay, so finally next on scene 3, we're going to repeat that code. So go to the yellow blocks, grab the green flag, go to the orange blocks and grab the timer that says 10 seconds, and go to the red, and you're going to grab the scene that has 4 in the corner, so our spring. Okay, so now we're going to loop to the 4th. And on the 4th block, we are going to add code because we want it to loop back up to the top. So you're going to come up to the yellow blocks, grab the green flag, grab the wait 10 seconds, and then finally you're going to grab the one that says 1. And now I'm going to click on scene 1, so we start at the top, and hit the green flag. And it should loop through. If you want to play with this, a good way to kind of play with the loop would be to play with the wait code. So right now it's waiting, I don't really think it's 10 seconds, but you could speed that up, make it a smaller number like 5. If you wanted the seasons to change faster, that's kind of up to you. You can practice playing with the other blocks and see what they do. If you have allowed it, you can add your own pictures and audio with Scratch, but you do have to give the app permission to those. So again, ask your parents before you do that, or your adult, whoever is home watching you, ask them before you allow the application to have access to your camera or microphone. But yeah, that was our activity for today. We're going to do more for kinder through 2nd grade. we're going to try and make sure we're putting activities out for all of our grade levels. So if this one was not, it was not your grade level, or you thought it was too easy, we have older activities that are posted if you haven't gone through those yet that are for higher grade levels. On Thursday, we're going to do another Python one, which is text-based. So you'll need to have some typing skills or be willing to practice your typing skills for that one. I hope to see you guys at our live session, and hope you had fun with this activity. Have a great day.